So I think the issue of collective intelligence in politics is a really important one to think about. In the current context, I think people, if we look at someone like Barack Obama, who comes out of a community organizing background, he uses the word "we" a great deal, and that's part of his appeal. He took the slogan from Cesar Chavez, "Yes, we can," and built that into his movement. And I think as he does so, he's sort of signaling to this generation, let's figure out together how to solve problems. Let's put our resources together. Let's write our platform collectively. So the question is going to be, how does he govern? Does he enter into a world where, in fact, people gather online and put their best thoughts behind solving, whether it's the environment or the economy or the war, to make sense of solutions together? And I think that's a model of political governance that taps collective intelligence. Build this together and bring about solutions. And I think that's something we're going to see more and more political leaders around the world to do. To say, here's a problem, how do we solve it together? Let's put all of our minds together online to talk about it. One of the things we've seen, to my disappointment in the American election, is as we get closer to voting day, people have fallen back on old media and old rhetoric far more. And it grows out of a deep anxiety around the world about giving up control, of not having a unified message. And I think that is a deep anxiety. The problem is that the public will expect something more than that. And I think one of the reasons I would argue John McCain is doing badly in the American context is he is applying a very old school politics, very old school tactics, old school language. He's beating up his opponent at this point, and it's turning people off who might otherwise participate in the process. So if you want to reach these new voters who Obama and other candidates around the world are mobilizing, you've got to include them in the process. They're demanding the right to participate, and old style politics will cease to be effective over time as that generation comes of age. Well, I think we're seeing all kinds of uses of that right now, from YouTube videos, which early on helped to establish Barack Obama's reputation in the United States, to the use of cell phone technologies as a way of people communicating the excitement of the campaign trail to people situated elsewhere, to social network sites, which allow people to connect, supporters to connect to each other, to online games, which may educate young people about the issues. All of the platforms are being used right now in political ways, including sometimes cynical uses of technology. So new platforms can be manipulated politically, but there's also the likelihood of transparency of that stuff coming back to the surface and people reacting against it. Well, I think one of the groups that I would look at is Global Kids in New York. Barry Joseph's group has done a very good job of using Teen Second Life to create a space where teenagers from around the planet get together, talk about issues, reconstruct the space to imagine a better society, and then take what they learned there back to the streets and the communities where they live and try to make a difference at a local level. So it's not just in the game, but it's also in the streets where politics takes place. I think but we're seeing all kinds of really rich models right now of games as sites of learning. They're more motivating as a technology. They allow us to work with robust simulations and manipulate data and learn new things. They facilitate collective intelligence and shared problem-solving strategies, and they encourage us to redesign the world we live in. And that's a deeply political process.